Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios and brought to you as always by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda podcast for Monday the 2nd of December.
The Agenda podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Cannot believe it's December already.
Oh, no, but it's the official month where you kick everything to 25.
Yeah.
November, people would go, you're a bit of a lazy ass, aren't you? But it's December, totally legit.
Everything being punted to next year. I think we need to start this podcast by recapping that match. We need to go over it. We need to readdress it. We lost by 8 wickets in a day and a half, basically.
But that was irrelevant.
Was.
I think that was inevitable. That was going to happen ever since England's first innings.
That's right.
It was almost written in the stars that we'd blown it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think the big headline that everyone's talking about is catches win matches. 8 dropped catches in England's first innings. Here is what they sounded like.
Smith into Brook, slashed. Oh, it dropped. Dropped it gully, and it's Glenn Phillips. Is this drop going to cost them? In comes Smith. Full slip and dropped again. No! Oh, dropped it first. Slip by Latham. In comes Phillips. Quicker. And that's in the air.
Come on.
Is it a chance down at deep mid-wicket? The man underneath it dropped it.
Oh my God!
Devon Conway was coming round from deep square leg. And he's dropped Brook again. In comes Smith. And he leans back and lashes it and drops.
Oh
my God. Another drop.
One down.
Latham drops it. Another one at covers. It's his third catch he's dropped today, the captain. He's got the dropsies. And it's edged and dropped again.
Oh my God!
Oh, it's Glenn Phillips at gully. And that was even simpler than his first catch he's dropped. Chalk it up, number 7.
And Harry Brook is openly laughing because this is comical. This is a clown show.
Fucking hell. It was, you could tell by just, oh my God.
Not again.
Not again.
It was shades of the ACC 11 when we dropped 15 catches in one match.
Well, some say 11 were grassed, 15 was the opportunities. The difference with that Jeremy Wells pointed out this morning on Hauraki was we didn't actually take any other catch. That's what made that such an anomaly.
Yeah.
We actually caught nothing at all.
Yeah.
Eventually the Black Caps did take their catches.
Oh, yeah, they took a few as well.
Yeah, they took a few, whereas no one caught anything.
We didn't take any. There was a guy in the NBA the other day who scored about 30 points. He didn't miss a single shot, and didn't miss a free throw, didn't miss a shot from the field. He didn't turn the ball over once. It was like an NBA record, never been done before.
That's like a clean sheet.
Yeah.
That's like...
It was a triple-double as well. So triple-double, no turnovers, no missed shots.
Oh, man.
The perfect game.
You retire.
Yeah, you would. That's basically what we did. This was a little bit different because there were a few drops. Man, at one point, England... it breaks my heart to pour back over the numbers, but we will. At one point, England was 70 for 4.
And that was when I think Brook was dropped.
Yes, I think it was Phillips, the first drop of the 8 in that English first innings. Brook dropped 5 times. First of those, he was on about 30 runs. So in theory, because he went on to score 170, that's 140 prevented.
Yeah.
In theory.
And, I mean, I would be no more upset. I heard that Matt Henry went up and apologised to Ollie Pope at the end of the day's play, at the end of day 2, was it? Because he got out to that stunning catch by Glenn Phillips at gully. And he was like, you are the unluckiest guy on this field because that is one of the catches of the century. And everyone else dropped them, and you were the only ones who laced it and got out.
Well, that's a great point you raised. Latham and Phillips accounted for 6 of our 8 dropped catches. And I saw someone on Instagram, probably on TikTok, but then found its way to my Instagram Reels because I'm 33 years old, saying that Glenn Phillips is not a great taker of catches, but a taker of great catches. So he drops the easy one, and then he will take the absolute screamer.
Because he's taken some of the greatest catches you'll see in that gully position. Like that kind of, it is a very familiar kind of dive he does where he splays all limbs, into the starfish, and then somehow sticks into that right hand.
Yeah.
There's someone asked the most outrageous question at the press conference of Latham.
Yeah.
And you know what this was about. They said, do you think it has anything to do with the sightlines and catching at Hagley Oval has anything to do with the botanical gardens?
What? But you can't see the botanical gardens
I
from
know.
the field.
What is it, the pollen? Is the pollen in your eyes making you sneeze?
Were they spending too much of their time before the game down there at the
Botanical Gardens?
The Botans?
It doesn't make sense that whoever asked that question, whoever Journo brought that up, it's like you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel of excuses apart from just dumb luck that you just grasped all those chances.
I reckon it was a journo who doesn't follow cricket in any way.
Yeah.
And they were just like, I don't know what the fuck they're asking. I've never watched this sport again. Like, oh, they dropped heaps of catches.
Maybe they lost it in the flowers.
Was it the Botans, perhaps?
But also, you can't see it. If you stand in the middle of Hagley Oval, as the crow flies, the gardens are, maybe a kilometre away? 500 metres away?
You can't see them from the top of the embankment.
No, that's what I mean.
You couldn't see them from the commentary booth.
I would blame all the Hawaiian shirts that were there worn by middle-aged men on dress-up day, potentially.
Yes, so if you weren't listening to the commentary, we set an over-under market at 6.5.
Yeah.
Boomers in Hawaiian shirts. Smashed within a couple of hours. That was absolutely obliterated.
Well, that's dress-ups.
That is what
for boomers. It's like put a hard case Hawaiian shirt on and go to the cricket.
Oh, he's a laugh, isn't he?
Oh, look at his Dave.
Here's old Dave again. He's got the bloody, oh, God, you know it's a laugh when Dave busts out the bloody Hawaiian shirt. He's in Christchurch, for God's sake. You know he wears that thing in Fiji once a year.
Totally. There was some good comedy betting going on, actually. We got people asking how many helicopter drops from the adventure mountain bike park would come in because the hospital's right next to Hagley Oval and the landing pad is pretty much on Hagley Oval. Yeah. So you often hear the rescue helicopter come in. And on day 2, I think we had 4 come in. And that was on a Friday.
And then on day 3, we set the over-under at 4.5. And I actually think it came under.
Yes, it did.
I think we had 4.
We had 3. One very last minute. But since we found it later, the mountain bike park closed at 5. Yeah. The game went on till 6:30. So I don't know if we didn't go in with the best amount of intel on that one.
No, but we did have a couple of people who were willing to sacrifice themselves in order to try and make that bet come right because we had people calling in saying, look, I'm going for a dive just off the coast of Kaikoura there and I'll probably be ready for a pickup in about half an hour, so if you could get the chopper up now. And we were saying, just if you find him and he has drowned, just make sure you stuff whatever he's caught into the life jacket, into the, whatever, and then bring that all back with you. But unfortunately, that comedy bet didn't come in either. One of the other questions that was asked of Tom Latham was, is it something that you need to work on, the catching? And he said, I don't think it's something that requires any extra work. Do you agree with Tom Latham? Supplementary question, if it does require work, what work could they possibly do in the next 4 days?
Well, there's rumours that the pants man Joel Harrison is their fielding coach because he was responsible for half our drop catches in the ACC. I don't think you can never do too much work. No, in terms of catching practice.
But I don't think there's a drill they're going to do between now and the next game that's going to sort it.
No, but I mean we're not bad fielders. Like all the people that drop that are usually very capable. Yeah. Latham and Phillips in particular.
Yes.
Conway is usually a safe pair of hands, and he grasped one. So
even Blundell was having a mare behind the stumps.
Yes, he missed that one that caught behind on the leg side. It just pinged off his fingers.
Yeah. What do you put it down to?
I don't know. And they'll be asking the same question. And I read in Dylan Cleaver's bounce, he's just like, I think it's just one of those things. It's just dumb luck.
Yeah.
It's just unlucky, but the unlucky streak that just compiled 8 in a row as opposed to any sort of skill issue.
Well, I think so Latham dropped, I think, 3.
Yes.
Which means Phillips must have dropped 3 as well.
Yes, and then Conway and Blundell.
Once you've dropped 2, you're never catching that third one, I reckon. I reckon you're just done by that stage.
You reckon?
And I think the only one that, Phillips took that screamer, but that was just like reflex. That was like hitting your knee with a hammer.
Well, Latham also, he took a catch in the end at second slip.
Oh, did he?
He actually, he took one, and they replayed it over and over again to see whether it touched the grass.
Oh, yes.
So he did right the ship a little bit, ish. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that it was tough to watch as a fan because you knew they were better than that. And I guarantee you, any catching drills they do between now and the Basin, they will catch 99.9% of those catches easily.
Yeah.
There was a couple, I think a couple blasted just over the head of Daryl Mitchell. And Southee, I think, got one blasted through his hands as well at kind of short mid wicket. Just nothing went to hand.
Now, is it another side effect of baseball? Because it's just one of those things where they're slashing at everything. So there's going to be more catch opportunities, more half catch opportunities, more dropped catches, and then you're going to drop lip in the field.
Yeah, I think you're bang on, because they do that. They go hard at the ball and it flies. I've never seen so many boundaries basically over the keeper's head.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the English have an interesting field tactic where they have a backstop. And he took a catch. He got Daryl Mitchell out in the first innings, where Daryl Mitchell went for the pull shot and just skied it straight up in the air. They had a guy behind the keeper who took the catch.
They had a backstop.
Yeah, they had a backstop. Right. But they're in a catching position, because you can't have. He was slightly on the offside, because you can't have more than 3 behind square on the leg. So it's quite clever.
As a rule.
Yeah, as a rule.
Really?
That's after bodyline. So after bodyline, they brought that in, because all they did was stack it left side, bolt the armpit, and just wait for someone to.
Yeah.
So it's quite a clever way of doing it, because it's a backstop, but it's still there on the hook shot for the top edge.
Yeah.
So it's still in a catching position. So you could tell Baz, he ain't no dummy when it comes to this kind of shit.
That is smart and innovative. But even as a grown man, you couldn't stand at backstop, like directly behind the wicket.
Oh, no. You have to go, I'm at fly slip, I'll say.
Yeah, that's right. Because otherwise, if your keeper, if Ollie Pope turns around, he's like, all right, I get that I'm not the usual keeper, and I'm not that fucking bad. It's like, no, it's not for that. It's for this. I thought Daryl Mitchell gave a good account of himself.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he did. He's a real grafter, isn't he? There's nothing pretty about him.
No.
He grinds it out.
Workman-like. The only bit of flair is the reverse sweep, which drives boomers into conniptions.
Oh my God! And Mike Minogue, I know he listens. He drives him fucking crazy. I get bombarded with messages every time. He goes, wouldn't he say anything? It would just say, "Put it away, Mitchell." It drives him insane. If you wanted to make him crazy, get a compilation of Daryl Mitchell's reverse sweeps, and play it to Mike Minogue, and he'll flip.
But how many times has he got out to the reverse sweep?
A few times. That's what drives him crazy.
You've got to do something, though. You can't just be reactive, you know?
Yeah.
And look, take it to the bowler.
He plays that shot quite well. He got it out a few times and it worked. But it's just when it goes wrong, people are ready with the knives. Yeah.
It's an easy one to point to if it goes wrong. But fuck, when it comes off. And if you're doing it often enough, they have to put a fielder there, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a way of you as a batter dictating the field a little bit.
Yeah.
But when it goes bad, it looks
horrendous.
Very bad.
Horrendous.
All right, the Sexy Camel, we've been talking about him a lot. This is his farewell tour. Not the result he was looking for, but you could tell once he went out there to bat, he was just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm here.
He always does. To be honest, he's consistent.
Yeah, that's right. That's what he's always done. He's like, look, I'm not a great batter, so I might as well go for as many sixes as I possibly can.
He can hit the ball. He's got a good eye.
Yeah.
And he can hit a big ball.
Great slogger. Yeah. Absolutely. He is, as we said the other day, 6th in Test sixes. He is now on 95. He hit 2 of them in this most recent innings.
Yeah.
So he's got 2 more games. In theory, 4 more innings.
Yes.
To hit 5 more sixes to crack the ton. If he does that, that will vault him over Jacques Kallis, who is just above him. Chris Gale is on 98. Adam Gilchrist is on 100. And then if Southee can do 100, he'd be tied with Gilchrist. McCullum, 107. Ben Stokes, 131.
Yeah, well, we could see evidence of that when Stokes was playing in the weekend. He goes big. Something about that, the coach-captain combo here. I can't see why they play baseball when you've got McCullum on 107 Test sixes and your captain is the only one ahead of you on 131.
Yeah, that is quite
When
good.
is that combination going to go? I reckon we should just pump the brakes here, guys.
Yeah.
That's just shut up shop.
Along the carpet, boys.
Let's just work the 1s and 2s. Like, that's not coming out of those guys. Because people in the change room would go, what? What are you talking about?
Bullshit.
That would be great for Southee. I mean, he's in pretty good company. He's ahead of Lara, Rohit Sharma, Virinder Sehwag. That's a great stat. I've said it before. Get wickets, hit sixes.
Yep.
There's nothing more straight up than that.
Well, you mentioned wickets. He is first in wickets taken for a black cap overall. That's in all formats combined. I think that's by virtue of the fact that when he started playing was when T20 started.
Yes.
And so he's played more games than anyone else.
Yep.
But 772. Vittori's second on 696. So I don't know. It's going to take quite a bit to beat that.
I can't see anyone beating that.
Because he came into the team at what, 18?
Yeah, 19. And he's played a lot of Test cricket and a lot of one-dayers. people coming in now, they'll play a lot of T20s, but they'll also leave the national team earlier, like the likes of Ferguson, Adam Milne, to go and make money elsewhere. So this is a hot take, that'll never be beaten.
Wow. 772, never be beaten.
In terms of wickets for New Zealand as a black cap,
Yep.
that won't be beaten because I don't think people will play that long.
No, I agree with you. What about second in test wickets? He's on 387. I don't think he's going to hit the 400, unfortunately.
If he did, that would be magnificent. 13 wickets look, it could be done in one game.
Yeah.
The way he did look very kind of Southee of the last 18 months there. It was a little bit of something for him, and he beat the outside edge quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I must admit, old Nathan Smith looked good. There's something about him. He's got a terrible no ball issue.
That's excitement.
That's obviously him pushing too hard, and he said he was too excited. But there's something about him. He was creating chances, and the amount of mishits that came off him and the drop catches that came off him, unfortunately, he should have had a fifer.
He should have had a fifer. He should be spewing for his stats there because he should have had so much more than that. And I think anyone that watched it, if you just looked at the stats, you'd be like, oh yeah, he went all right, got 2 wickets, I think. But when you watched him actually bowl, it was impressive. He looks the goods, doesn't he?
And he's got a mullet and a mo. It looked good. And so the next game is, we'll talk about preview the next game and later on in the week. But the rumour is it's going to be a decision between getting Santner in the team, potentially a pitch that turns a bit in Wellington. It did last year anyway. Who does he come in for? And most of the pundits are saying he either comes in for Southee or Smith. Now, Smith, this is his home track. He's played a shit ton of domestic cricket on this pitch and in this ground. Does he come in for the hometown farewell tour of Southee? So this is a decision for Steady to make along with Latham. And it's going to be an interesting decision. I don't see Southee not playing in Hamilton.
No, but
I potentially see him not playing in this one.
I was going to say you couldn't not play him, surely.
Well, now that we're at, do you know what? You're right. We're not in the Test Championship anymore.
Right.
What are we playing for?
Yeah. But after what they did to Wags, I could see it. They'll bloody drop him. Someone will get injured. He'll be fielding all day. That's what will happen.
Oh, no. They can't repeat the Wags situation. That should be in a manual on how not to farewell a legend of the game.
It's a national shame.
Yeah.
It is a national shame. I think that's what's going to happen. Also, Will Young, will he get back in again? We could have done with him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Where do we put Will Young? Do we? Blundell's under pressure. Do we put Will Young in there and give Latham the gloves? But then, is that too much? Opening the batting, gloves, and captaining? That is a shit ton on one person.
Yeah, well, and again, if you put the gloves on someone like Phillips, you've taken a bowling option away.
He doesn't want them.
He doesn't want them?
Flat out, he doesn't want them. Conway, he's not. He is a T20 kind of makeshift keeper.
Yeah.
So you've got no choice. Blundell's it. You can't be coming in with you can't give Latham any more responsibilities. You can't. You can't bat all day, keep all day, and captain. That's too much. That's back the Vittoria era when he was captain, coach and manager selector.
I heard he drove the bus to the airport.
Yeah, pretty much. There was a 2-year period there when he was everything. He was a selector, coach and player.
Yeah. Sussed the catering.
Yeah.
He did absolutely everything.
Ran the court session.
Yeah, ran the court session. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, and at least good things for us to talk about as well. But, because selection for cricket's never really that big a thing. It's like, oh, they brought a spinner or they brought a pace. But now we've got a couple of genuine, how do we fit these dudes in? They didn't put Young in. Could have done with a few extra runs.
Controversially, does Young come in for Conway?
Maybe. I mean,
he hasn't had a great start. But he's still a quality batsman. Oh,
so's Will Young.
I know.
I reckon you go down and you have a net and you're just like, all right, fellas, last man in starts. Last man in gets the run. And just everyone going at them. And then you put your 2 bowlers bowling at them. So whoever can last the longest.
Like the day before the test.
Whoever gets bowled out first, they're out of the game. And whoever bowled them is in.
Okay, yep.
A real gladiator sort of Hunger Games situation. I like the idea. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to address the half curse issued on the weekend. All right, we've talked a lot about curses here at the ACC, and I don't think anyone's issued more commentators' curses than the ACC.
That's because we've got an opinion, Manaia.
That's right.
You know, we like to support, get behind our teams, and we're like, oh my God, he's looking good. He's looking great.
Yeah.
Can't wait for him to get to his century. We're just too passionate and too positive, you see.
That's right. And it's gotten to the point sometimes where we're too scared to commentate because we've issued so many commentators' curses. But I think we've had another world first from the ACC on the weekend, and it was this half commentator's curse from you.
Well, there is some positive news, a positive ray of sunshine here. Most partnership runs for New Zealand. Oh, betting on the outside. Oh, it's gone. Back-to-back wickets. Blundell's gone for a golden duck. He's gone up to review it. And they've also run him out.
Can it be a commentator's curse if you're only halfway through delivering it?
Look, Your Honour. No. Your Honour. I will defend that to the end. I will take that to the High Court. I'll take it to the Privy Council if I have to, because I did not deliver it in full. You can't be half pregnant.
Would you, if not murder, would you accept manslaughter?
Yeah. Suspended sentence, manslaughter. Involuntary manslaughter I would accept.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not pleading.
Not murder.
Yeah, not murder.
So that was it Carter? Oh, Wokes. It was his second wicket.
Yeah, it was back-to-back.
It was back-to-back, and after the first one, then Blundell came out to the crease, and Paul Ford showed you a graphic that said that it was the highest run partnership or something like that.
Blundell and Mitchell, I think. Was it Blundell and Mitchell at that stage? You know, have got the most runs as a partnership in New Zealand history or whatever. So he passed it to me, and I was halfway through reading it, and then that happened.
And he got skittled.
So then he got caught behind first ball. I could see, look, you know, there's fingerprints at the crime scene, but there is a lot that you can't.
Circumstantial.
Yeah, you can't pin me on it completely.
Yeah, that's right. The rock could have held.
That is a world first, though. That is a first.
The
world
half
first.
G Lane and the Half-Blood Curse. Sounds like a Harry Potter movie. Let's move on to the round ball. Auckland FC are now 5 from 5. They won again on the weekend. They are top of the table. They have tied the longest winning streak to start a season ever in the A-League.
Whether it's your debut season or not.
Yeah.
Holy, that's great. And the weather was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful in Auckland, and the port still looked like it was going off.
Well, it looked like a port because it was underwater.
Yeah, but this weekend, obviously, it's the Doobie.
Yes.
Sold out. Apparently, there's a secondary ticket market going on. $400. People are charging for a ticket.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So back at Go Hard, it's the return Doobie. That's going to be a cracker. Hopefully, the weather holds out.
It's huge. Everything's set up perfectly for it. They are completely undefeated. No one wants to beat them more than Wellington.
Well, yeah, Wellington are on a revenge mission.
Yeah.
They're getting their revenge bods ready, and they will show them off. So it would be great for the storyline for the Phoenix to take the win, to take the W, and go back down to Wellington with the W.
It would.
Yeah, that would create. They've got the record, or they've equaled it, or whatever. So that's all good. I don't mind them dropping a game, but if they're going to drop a game, drop it to the Phoenix because it'll spice things up.
It's the best thing that could happen for New Zealand football. I think, is for the Phoenix to beat Auckland FC.
It'd be I can't wait. Now, it's going to be good.
I am a day one Auckland FC fan.
As am I.
I was at their first game.
Yeah.
Didn't go to day 2, but
did you go to day 3?
No, I haven't been to any of the other days since.
But you were there at the start, mate.
I'll be going to day.
You were an OG.
I'll be going to day 6, and my allegiances are up for sale. Whoever wins that game, I'm in. I'm a die easy fan. Sticking with the round ball, a Fiorentina midfielder, Eduardo Bove, collapsed on the field in a Serie A match against Inter, has been abandoned. It's the second incident this year of a player collapsing during a match in the Serie A. Do your own research into that one. Why?
Are you vaccines?
Yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is a lot of dudes having heart attacks and dying on football fields globally at the moment. Let's move on to the Qatar GP, and unfortunately your leg of the three-way from this weekend didn't come in.
It's the golden rule. Never bet against strap-on because he was second on the grid, and I was like, here you go. He's going to blow out. I think he had Piastri and Norris because I had money on McLaren, just a McLaren winning.
Yes. And
he just overtook on the first corner and won.
See it. and drove faster than anyone else drove.
Correct. And Liam Lawson had a bit of a shitter as well.
Yes.
I think did he have a small crash?
Not a small crash. He had a full-on wipeout. Him and another dude whose name escapes me. It was classic Liam Lawson.
Oh, not Lance Stroll. Was it him? Because that's the guy who cut him off in qualifying and gave him the fingers again.
No, I don't think it was that dude. I think it was another dude. But anyway, it took what I presume to be an aggressive line. Didn't leave enough room for both of them to get around. And so Liam Lawson bumped the other dude off the track but spun out himself.
Ah, okay.
Got back on track and still managed to finish 14th, which was good. But I think, so obviously there's a big issue around these cars are going a million miles an hour. They could crash into the barrier. Why don't they, I'll tell you what would boost the sport's popularity is rig them up a little bit so they're a bit safer, give them a bit more runoff room, and just have
bumper cars.
Yeah, basically bumper cars. Give them enough room that they're not going to hurt themselves.
I know for a fact you can still get injured in a bumper car because I was in one in Munich and I'm still suffering from whiplash from you T-boning me. I had a chicken hat on, admittedly. It was clapping and clucking at the same time. I had a lederhosen and I was dangerously steamed. But you came out of nowhere. You came out of the mist.
I would love to have seen it from GoPro footage from both of our heads. Because I saw you from a mile. Well, you had the fucking chicken hat on, so I could see you from anywhere. And as I come round, I was like, oh, here we go. I just needed the red seat apart, and it did. Hit you so hard the chicken came off your head.
The chicken came off. That's why it's all covered in black soot. Everyone goes, oh, it's disgusting. It's like, cause it ended up in the middle of the fucking Dodgems because I got T-boned by fucking Manaia.
Because your car broke down. Liam Lawson finished 14th at the Qatar GP. McIver Gate, there's been an update.
Yes.
There has been an update.
It's still why is it still carrying on? It's just a kind of...
never ending.
Okay.
I'll explain to you why it's still carrying on. So if you can't remember, they had a bit of a spat during the America's Cup. So McIver was commentating it. He interviewed Ben Ainsley. He said, do you still feel confident that you can win after going 4-0 down? It was misconstrued a little bit. But anyway, Ben Ainsley took that as like, oh, what? You're having a dig at me? Yeah. So he said, oh,
fuck you.
That might just, he called him a fucking wanker, is what he did.
Yeah.
So he addressed it on his wife, Georgie Ainsley's podcast. This is why it's come back up again. He said, I kept my communications pack on so everyone could hear me in an effort to spark a reaction from his crew because they were trailing 4-0. Do you believe him?
Nah.
No, I don't believe him either.
Nah. Also, would you ever do a podcast with your partner?
No. Oh, I would. She wouldn't do it, but
I'd
do an episode. But I wouldn't do like a on-go, because if you're doing it every week...
But then I'd just be making up lies like Ben Ainsley is now. Just ask me a question, I'd just completely make a lie up. I know I drank that beer purely because I just needed to set an example to show what alcohol could do to you, to Manaia and to Joe and our team, because obviously I lead from the front, and so if you see a mass consumption of alcohol, this is what it does. So I was leading from the front.
Yeah.
She'd be like,
bullshit. 100% bullshit. There'd also be things like, if I was doing a podcast with my missus, she'd be like, did you know that West Auckland's no longer using bin tags on a Friday? And I'd be like, yeah. She'd be like, no, you didn't, because you've never once bought one of the bin tags.
You didn't even know there were bin tags.
Didn't even know there were bin tags, and now there aren't.
I know there are bin tangs.
I've gone through a few bin tangs, for sure. Maybe bin tags just needed a singlet that people could wear that would have promoted them.
Actually, not a bad idea.
Bin tags.
Because the bin tags are going completely, because in the North Shore of Auckland, they're getting rid of them from March next year.
I don't know why they had them.
So we should celebrate it by getting the bin tang logo and just having a play with it and calling it and turning it into bin tags.
Bin tag. Sculling some bin tags. All right, let's take one more quick break. We'll come back with yours, please. Just before we get to yours, please, thanks to our mates at Movember, the legendary ACC Golf Open is back for 2025 at Pupuki Golf Course in Auckland on the 31st of January, which seems like a long way away now. It is 2 months away, but we're going to fall into that weird time warp.
Yes.
So you need to get onto it quick, smart. A team entry into the ACC Golf Open includes green fees for 3 players. We're playing 9 holes. Trust me, you don't want 18 for this. On-course beverages and snacks.
Oh, yeah.
Use of official ACC Open scoring app, which is revolutionary. Blew my mind last year. A Friday afternoon off work to unleash your inner John Daly. a post-round entertainment at the 19th hole. Guilt-free donation to Movember as well. So if you want to join that, you can text golf to 3236, put your team together, and join us on the green. All right, now let's get into yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
We have 3, 4, 3. All right, first caller here. Yours, please.
Thanks, guys, for having the ACC commentary continuing to go. My wedding is next Saturday, and I hope my partner manages to take his earbuds out listening to you guys long enough to say I do. See ya.
Well, it's one of the great voicemails ever.
I felt, was that pass ag? I don't know. I felt
there's a little bit of pass ag at the end there. But, I mean, she's gone out of her way to send the message as well, so it's kind of, she doesn't want to talk to him about it. So maybe this is via this podcast medium.
Yes.
She's letting him know, you better not be fucking listening to the cricket on our wedding day.
It's the only way she can talk to him now because he's always got the headphones. It sounded like she was on a walk there. It sounded like she was outside. I reckon she's gone for a walk because she's like, I can't talk to this guy who's watching cricket. Yeah. And on the walk, she's tuned into the commentary. Yeah. Like, all right, what is this all about?
Yeah.
She's listening and she's just gone, this is shit. All right, here. hit the little phone button and then be like, all right, guys. It's one of the all-time, and I think every relationship does it. We do it through the cat. We don't have kids yet, so we do the cat. Manaia didn't fill the dishwasher today, did he? Yeah. Oh, he didn't feed you again. That's why you're meowing so bloody loud.
Oh, I must admit, via an animal is far more pass-ag than via a child, because a child can go, nah, he loaded it yesterday, or they can. Whereas the cat, it's got nowhere to go.
No,
you're like, hey Moose. Did you not get fed either? Oh, okay. What, you got cold food as well? Just leftovers? Oh.
Yeah, it is way more passe, you're right, than a kid, because you could play it off as if you were actually asking the kid something.
Yeah.
You're not asking the cat shit.
Nah.
Oh, Dad didn't pack your lunch this morning, did he? Like, that is, you could actually be asking the kid that.
Hey, but we're more than happy to open up the yours please to relationships who are struggling with communication.
Yeah.
You feel free to communicate via the medium of talkback, yours please.
Because there are some things that you want to address with your partner, but if you ever brought it up, then it would become a thing. So you need like a third party to be able to broach the subject with them, especially so that you don't hurt their feelings.
And especially if they listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
So you can just get your message across that way.
It's a great point. Yeah. It will not work the other way around. If they don't listen to this podcast, don't bother sending us your question because they'll never hear it. Although we'd like to hear it.
Or you could tell them to listen to it and then we'd get us one more listener.
Oh, yeah. We'll be up to 3. All right, another caller here. Yours, please.
Just wanted to say, you guys have done a bloody good job with the Punisher bat and the swing ball. Up at Y over the weekend, listen to the cricket, bit of beach cricket. I have never hit a ball as far in my life, and I've never had more deviation off a bounce. Well done. You've done God's work here. I am going to serve some asses up at Christmas time. Cheers, boys.
Well, what a ringing endorsement for our cricket sets at Rebel Sport.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, that if you must have heard by now or seen on socials, but the Punisher is selling like hotcake.
Yeah.
It is a bat that is the size, it's plastic and hollowed out like any other kind of Kiwi cricket bat, but it is the size of a David Warner Kookaburra.
It's enormous.
Yeah, it's enormous.
It's a meat axe.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And the beach is the appropriate place for it.
Yeah.
Because even if you just block it, a forward defensive will go across the boundary.
Yeah. Backyards, it's going to be challenging to control yourself. Because at its thickest, it's probably 15 centimetres.
Yeah.
At its thickest. And the range of balls, we've already pre-taped a ball for you.
Yeah.
That thing deviates like nobody's. It's like one half of the ball was twice as heavy as the other half.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're going to get a lot of movement in the air.
Yeah, there's all sorts. There's that training ball that's all sort of weird shapes, and then you throw it and it
the reaction ball, yeah.
I'll tell you what, should we send a bunch of reaction balls to the Black Caps? Like, get into these this week, fellas.
These. But we've also got the pass it forward sets as well, which are good, which is a full set of plastic cricket set, and every one you buy, we give one to charity. So we're about giving.
Yeah. And we've got you stocked for Christmas as well, if you're short of an idea. One last caller, yours, please.
Grim Lane strikes again. Just a quick question here, G Lane. Where were you on Thursday? The start of the test. You're in Christchurch, which is away for you. Supporting a team that you quite enjoy. Fuck you.
It took a turn.
Yeah.
Yes, I was in Christchurch on Thursday.
Yeah, you were.
Are we... Okay, we're implying that it's the Grim Lane curse. Is that what you're saying? Well, I'm in Wellington on Friday. So I guess we'll find out.
If anyone works at the Auckland airport that could prohibit G Lane from getting on the plane to Wellington this week, please do your best, because he's heading down. I mean, if we lose this one,
I'm coming down.
If we lose this one again, the curse is in full effect.
Oh, yeah, true. Well, I'll be in Hamilton as well, wheeling a fiberglass camel around the boundary in Hamilton. So
does Hamilton count? Because you're from Hamilton.
I live in
Auckland. Yeah, that's a good point.
So yeah,
while we are down there in Wellington, what could we? And this might be something for you at home to send through yours, please, about. But what could we do for the Black Caps the night before the game? Because that's when we'll be there. Could we? Do we set up a loser circle for the Black Caps to help them with their catching?
Should we present them with their caps? So the night before every Test match, they get represented their caps by someone of usually of note, and gives a motive. We've done it once before.
Oh, really?
Before a one-dayer in Wellington.
Yeah.
We went to the hotel, and myself, Paul Ford, and Jeremy Wells and Matt Heath, we all gave a speech each.
And then presented their caps.
Yeah, and mine was about how much, how much Dan Vittoria's fooled a nation, and like you guys are much better people. Jerry's was on the hairy Jav. Matt Heath talked about, because Mike Hesson was the coach at the time, about his experience with Mike Hesson and sneaking piss into grounds.
Yeah.
Paul Ford was the only one that made any sense. He actually gave a proper motivational speech. And then we lined up and we all welcomed them up, and shook their hand. Grant Elliott came up here and we'd give them their cap number such and such.
And how'd they go?
They lost.
Okay.
They lost. But it was a good experience. And afterwards we all walked out going, wow, fuck, that was unusual, but they had a good time.
Yeah.
It was because usually it's someone like, I remember Russell Crowe once did it in Sydney for them.
Oh, yeah.
And he came into the changing room and threw his New Zealand passport onto the floor in the middle of the changing room and said, I'm a fucking New Zealander.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I've heard that was one of the best ones.
Yeah.
When they got full gladiator.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's powerful. All right, let us know. Send us a wee voicemail and tell us what we should do while we're down there in Wellington to help buoy the troops. And otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow for a Tuesday episode of the Agenda Podcast.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda Podcast.